about that before I forget.
Let's make sure everybody's good with recording.
Yeah, everybody's good with recording. Now, when we do table topics, there was a Michael that was here as a guest one day. He brought up a good point, was if you get up here and speak, let me know. We can pause if you don't want to be on the video, but this is going to go up on YouTube. So if you don't want to be on the video, just let me know and we can pause before you get up. I think we did that with him. So put that out there, just putting that out there. All right, so I'm the Toastmaster of the day, and what the Toastmaster does is introduces the theme, and then we'll introduce our general evaluator, who today will be Sarah Dawson. But first, new beginnings, why joining Toastmasters? You'll probably hear a lot of that today. We will be talking, a lot of us that are members in the club, in different ways, whether it's through table topics or through our speech Chanel's going to be giving today. We will be talking about why we joined Toastmasters. For me, in a nutshell, I don't want to take too much time, but I was already running fitness groups, big groups. We do Groupons, and we'd have 25 people in a group, and I'm running this fitness group, and we have stations. And at one point we had 25 people, 30 people doing, because those Groupons, those you can remember those, there was like $10 for 8 sessions or whatever it was. I mean, nothing. So we had tons of people in these groups. So running these groups, I got pretty good at being the lion tamer, being the circus ringleader, but I wasn't as good on video. When you have an eye in the sky like you have here on the virtual side of things, I wasn't as good being able to get my thoughts across in a succinct way that would get what I wanted them to do. So I'm a baseball, softball hitting coach, and to be able to take what was in my brain and put it into a video format where I'm not going to lose people when they're watching the video and start getting tired and then just go check their phone and they just go to another hitting coach. So that was the biggest thing that I wanted to get better at when I first joined, was get better on being able to perform on video itself, because it's a totally different thing, as many of you know, in this COVID age where we're having to do this hybrid thing. So that was why I joined Toastmasters, and New Beginnings being the beginning of the year. So with that, I would love to bring up our general evaluator of the meeting, Miss Sarah Dawson, who's going to go over our evaluation team.
All right. The general evaluator, we get to do exactly what it says, is generally evaluate what happens, all the different things, get together a team around us that evaluate different parts of it, and then bring it back together as a whole when we're all finished. First person I'd like to call up is our grammarian, Joey. Right back up.
Am I the grammarian?
That's what it says.
Oh, you know what? I do have a grammarian. So
why don't we skip you? And we're gonna go Karin. Karin, come on up for the off counter.
So I'm the accounter of today. What is accounting is you in your speech usually use words that you don't have to, like and, so, like, and you repeat those words while you are speaking. Why? Because you are leaning on those words while the thought process is coming. But a good speech requires some kind of solidity. So therefore, I call those words as parasite words, because you don't need to have them in your speech. And a fluent speech is good when those words are avoided. So a lot of repetition of and in your speech is going to distract the listener from the subject matter. So therefore, I'm just counting those for your own benefit, and basically then just giving you some heads on how much you used or how many of those parasite words you used. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. You all ready to go?
Yes,
all right, Joey's coming up with the word.
Need a little bit of help.
Grammarian word of the day. Here we go.
This is what we do at Toastmasters. There's times where you get put into something, you're like, oh, really? I'm on that role? And then you have to figure it out on the fly. So Chanel, do you mind writing the word up on the board? And then we'll see how we can get it up on the chat. So the word of the day is savant. S-A-V-A-N-T. S-A-V-A-N-T. And we'll shorten it down for you there, Chanel, but it is a formal word that refers to a learned person, especially someone with detailed knowledge about a particular subject. So somebody who knows a lot about a specific subject. So it could be a savant. For me, I'm a baseball hitting savant. I'm pretty good when it comes to human movement with the body. And to use it in a word, his sister is a computer savant. So he knows he can call her whenever he has technical issues. And I'm going to see if I can maybe put that in the chat for those that are online. Savant, highly knowledgeable in one area. I'll put that for our virtual folks, and then it's up there as well. But I think I'm just going to close out of this so we can see everybody online. So what my job is to listen to those that come up and talk, to use the word of the day, just savant. And I'm going to take note, and then when we do our evaluations at the end, we'll take note of who was able to use it. So that's what I'll be doing.
Thank you, Joey. And our final one is the timer. How did you get all of these, Joey? Joey, you're also the timer. Why don't you come back up? He's gonna be busy.
Timer.
And
And Zoom Master. So maybe I'll do that one too after
okay,
that.
great. Go for
So
it.
timer is, we have this fancy little thing. I don't know if Mary, do you remember this? Did we have this when you were, or no?
Not something, I don't know if it was the same.
Was it this one?
Yeah,
You don't remember that? You do remember this, I think.
I remember the lights, but I don't know if I had the same equipment.
Was the same?
It was like an old-
Very cool, because we've had it for a while. So as the timer, I will be timing Chanel's speech, which will be 5 to 7 minutes, right? 4 to 6,
It's gonna be a little shorter.
Little
just to
shorter,
give us
3 to
time
5?
today with table topics and everything. I think it'll be 3-4 minutes.
3 to 4 minutes. Okay. So 3 to 4 minutes. And when she gets to 3 minutes, we'll show her green. When she gets to 4 minutes, or when she gets to 3.5 minutes, we'll show her this combo, this yellow red combo. It's actually supposed to be yellow, but there's something going on in here. And then when she gets to 4 minutes to wrap it up, she's going to get the red button on that. When we do tabletop, or when we do our evaluation, when Denny's going to be doing, that's a 2 to 3. So 2 green, 2.5 at that red yellow combo, and then 3 at the red. And then when we do table topics, it'll be 1 to 2 minutes. So we'll do green at 1, yellow red combo at the 1.5, and then we'll do red at the 2-minute mark. And basically the timer's job is just to keep everybody on mark. Some of us in here know my penchant, my savantness of wanting to talk too much. I have a savant for verbal. In Ireland, what do they call them? Not the luck of the Irish, but you kiss the Blarney Stone and you get the gift of gab. The gift of gab, I guess. Yeah, the gift of gab. I got that. I got that from my dad. My mom says that. Yeah. So keeping people on time like myself, but also people that have a hard time filling that time, learning how to stretch yourself out to give a little bit more. Sarah's pointing at herself. I didn't say it. Sarah was pointing at herself. So it's to help keep everybody on time. And then on the Zoom real quick. So I'm here in person. All I'm doing, my job is to push record and to stop. And you can see there was so much going on today. I pushed record a little bit late, but I did push record. So we are recording. And if we're online, so if I was online, then my job would be to zoom in on who's speaking. And then we put it in kind of a panel look when, say, we're doing table topics or somebody's volunteering for something or whatnot. So that's what I'll be doing today.
At the end, all of us will come back up and be able to give you reports back on all of the things that we did. And all of these things are used to help you grow and to learn in your speaking and not moving around so much and being able to be still and be able to speak without using all your crutch words, et cetera, et cetera. It's all meant as evaluation, not as something to criticize, because it is, as you said in the beginning, a supportive environment. So that's what we are today. I'm going to hand it back over to our Toastmaster.
All right.
Welcome back.
Thank you, Sarah. Toastmaster wears many hats, as we say. And I guess Sarah raised an interesting point. If you have an agenda, that bottom left corner of the front page, that's our mission statement. And we like to read that usually at the beginning. And that says, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And the big thing is, you take away, if you're new to this, is that this is a supportive and positive environment to grow in those two places, the communication side of things and the leadership side of things. And really, when it comes to how much does this cost, it's 2 times a year, it's a biannual membership and $60, 2 times a year when you're renewing. it doesn't get too, it's prorated depending on when you join, if you're a brand new member, and it could be anywhere from $65 down to, I think, what, 35, somewhere in there, depending on when you join, they prorate it. But your renewing is only $60 twice a year. So for the amount of training that you get, and you can ask all our members here on how valuable it is. I've still been with the Fresno City Toastmasters since 2012, and I stick around. Mary was saying that I've stuck around quite a time. And it's just that you evolve as a Toastmaster. Sometimes it's in the beginning, it's, I want to really get better at public speaking. I want to get better at my leadership. And then after a while, maybe you're not the best and you can always get better, but maybe you start feeling more of a mentoring role for newer members coming in. It's just, you kind of get better kicks of mentoring others as they're coming up and they're brand new. So it changes and evolves. With that, I want to now introduce Ms. Chanel West, going to be giving her speech today. I gave a little bit away in the beginning where Chanel, when she first started in 2020, three meetings before we got shut down, and then we had to go hybrid, completely hybrid, 100%. So I think that was a big, hard challenge for her, because she was coming in thinking she was going to be in front of people, learning how to speak in person, and then learning the online version of this was a little challenging, but she did a great job. And you're going to find out in this speech that she's going to give about that, why she joined Toastmasters. So I think all of you are going to be in for a treat to listen to Chanel West speak, and she is our immediate past president, by the way. So I want to welcome up Ms. Chanel West.
Great. So I've actually given more speeches on Zoom than I have in person. I'm glad that all of you are here today so I can get even more practice doing live speeches. How many of you currently have or have ever had a fear of public speaking? Okay, good. We've got honest people in here. See, if you didn't raise your hand, that would mean you were actually in the minority. Interestingly enough, in a nationwide study, it was found that public speaking is the #1 fear of Americans. Something that we like to joke about here at Toastmasters is that the #2 fear was death. So that means that at a funeral, most people would rather be in the casket than give the eulogy. One of the purposes of Toastmasters is to help us get past that point, right? I joined Toastmasters because I was definitely one of those people who had a fear of public speaking. A little bit of background about me is that I was homeschooled, which I think the stereotype of homeschoolers is that they're typically very shy, quiet people. That's not true of all homeschoolers, I want to defend, but unfortunately, I fit the stereotype very well. I was a shy, quiet kid. I took a preaching class in college. I went to a Bible college, and it took me over 3 weeks to prepare a 12-minute speech. I was so terrified to give it, and I got up there, gave the speech, watched the video recording afterwards, and counted no fewer than 60 ums and uhs, crutch words, during the time that I was giving that speech. I also had a quiet voice, just naturally, and with that can often come being overlooked or just not easily heard, like Sarah has also said she had to practice speaking louder. So this is the place that I found myself in as a 22-year-old young person when I first joined Toastmasters. I remember my very first Toastmasters session at Bitwise, and Denny had invited me and encouraged that I go up and participate in table topics. My first table topic was 17 seconds, which for those of you who don't know, they're supposed to be 1 minute to 2 minutes. But 17 seconds was all that I could squeak out. I was terrified and then immediately sat back down. See, the thing is that I could prepare a speech if I had enough time and notice. If I could write everything down and read it, then I felt totally comfortable. Not totally, but more comfortable. But it's the extemporaneous speaking that was so hard for me. Who knows what extemporaneous speaking is? It's speaking that is not planned. It's off the cuff, so to speak. So speaking where you have to improvise. That looks delicious. And as somebody who is more of a prepared, organized kind of person, I did not like extemporaneous speaking. So when I entered Toastmasters, that was the #1 thing that I wanted to work on. specifically as I was growing in my career professionally. I'm a grant writer and I work with nonprofit organizations. I found myself in a lot of situations where I was in meetings and I might be expected or called upon to contribute something. And I had a hard time thinking quickly, getting my brain to come up with answers off the cuff. That was really an area of struggle for me. So that was my main why of what I wanted to get out of Toastmasters. So for example, this speech today, I did have a brief outline, but I have not practiced it. So this is yet another example and opportunity for me to practice speaking without being completely prepared and having everything written down. In short, what I have learned from Toastmasters is how to sound and feel confident while speaking, even if I'm not prepared ahead of time. The question that I want to pose to everybody here today is, what is your why? What is the thing that you want to work on or improve in joining Toastmasters? As Joey said, for him, it was that he wanted to look better on video. So Joey, I think you were in a place where you felt pretty confident being able to get up and speak in front of people, but you wanted to specifically focus on coming across well on video. As Sarah shared, she was preparing for a new position and wanted to learn to speak more loudly and slowly and enunciate clearly. For me, it was that I needed confidence to be able to speak without having all of that preparation and heads up ahead of time. There's a lot of different reasons, specific things that people might want to work on when they come into Toastmasters. And all of them are valuable and unique to each of you and to each one of us. My challenge today is to think about what is that area in public speaking that you would specifically like to work on and improve. And I actually did come up with a concluding statement. So I will leave with that challenge. And thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much. Awesome. I love how, besides the content in Chanel's speech, I think we've heard variations and versions of that, stretched out versions, shorter versions, that kind of thing. It's a great speech to give, especially today with the open house and everything. But the other thing I forgot to mention, usually we do in our meetings, is since this is a virtual hybrid in person, I saw her when she came up, she adjusted this right away. Sometimes we just started doing this a little bit more where we're telling our people to, when you come up, there's going to be tall people and little short, not short, or vertically challenged, I think is the PC word for it. Huh? Shorter? Prefer shorter? She prefers shorter. Sarah does. But to move this around, because if Corinne or my dad or somebody's tall and they come up here and it's here and they're way up here, and then Sarah comes up and she's down here talking. The people on the screen, we can see her here in person, but yeah, so I saw Chanel did that right away. I love that. Before we really should grab some food, I did want to bring up Corinne and I'm sure you were tracking already, the all counter. That is always my favorite. Come on up, Corinne. Tell everybody about the all counter role, because I know anybody who remembers that role. Did he come up? Or
I
was
did.
Did he already come up?
But I counted
Okay.
already.
Oh, he already counted. No, don't do that.
Okay.
Yet. I got too much going on. My dear friend, I forgot that he came up. I wanted to make sure that role was highlighted, because most people that come here for the first time, that's the one, if they forget everything, they remember that role. So anyway, thanks, Corinne, for doing that. All right, so now with that, before we get to table topics, let's go ahead and break for, if you want to grab some food, there's napkins here, if you need fork, you got pretzels, go ahead if you want, and then let me know if you want something.
And let's do bidding.
And let's do bidding. Yeah, let's do that. So sorry for our online folks, if that's okay, we take a little bit of 5 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes. So go for it. Let's do 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
We're gonna run out of time.
Are we? 3 minutes? Okay, so let's go, let's make it fast.
3 minutes. Go. Okay.
Go for it. So grab some food, or if you want to put some bids down, go for it. Let me know if you need something to drink, even if it's water, I can go grab it. my virtual crew, I wish I could get you some water or some coffee or tea. Oh, Michael's already got his, so. Yeah, Elaine and Alex, sorry, I can't give you anything through the screen. So go for it. Yeah. Richard, if you want. Oh, this. Great minds think alike. Yeah, Mike at the Mug today had Michael, they had another catering job, and it was way bigger than ours. They had, I think they gave us, it was 10 rolls, I think is what it was, something like that, 10 wraps, wrap type rolls, turkey and things like that. But they had one that had, I think, 50 rolls before. So they had, so that was the first one, and then they did ours right after that. So.
Well, next time maybe you'll be the big group.
It will be the big group. That would be a good problem to have.
Hey, it's a challenge, gotta have challenges to try and achieve.
Yep. Love that, Elaine. Good. Yeah, I know you're listening and learning. This is your second rodeo, right? Not your first.
You put too low a price on those cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome. Oh, see, those are her cookies.
that'd probably be the highest dollar.
There was one day, oh, that's what it was. So we'd have an open house over at Bitwise. And did you ever bring actual cookies and brownies, or did you just tell us how good they were? And then
We all had the cookies.
there was one time, right? There was one time you brought them and they were amazing.
I gave a speech on how
I remember
to make
that.
actual cookies, and then I brought them already cooked. So that
That's
people could
right.
enjoy them,
That's
and not
right.
just have the cookie dough.
And then
But then the mixer didn't work, or something didn't work, and so I just had to make it.
and then ever since we've been talking about it, and because of the COVID thing, we haven't been able to do something like this where we have food and all that kind of stuff. So we actually have awesome Dawson cookies that are on the auction block.
I will imagine how good they taste.
Yeah, and some baklava from Corinne.
Ooh,
Homemade? No? Oh, okay. I know she does make them. Lucine does make it homemade though, doesn't she?
Yeah, this one is from the store.
Oh, this one's from the store.
Well, it's like homemade because it's still the laziest to make it home and bring it to.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, homemade. Yeah, made it home. I made it home. I bought it at the store, but made it home. Right? That works. Yeah.
I'm a pretty good cook, but when I bake, it's from a box.
It's from a box with
Yeah.
ingredients, step by step.
I'm getting into bread now, but and doing that from scratch, but it's baby steps.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. Even barbecuing, I have to follow the Traeger things right down to the.
Oh no, I've been barbecuing for 40 years, and I've had some really good teachers, so I'm pretty good at that. Grilling. I don't like smoking all that much, but grilling is really fun.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And you know what they say, men will cook if danger is involved. So
Ain't that the truth?
I have heard that.
Men will cook if danger's involved. Threat of danger. My mom said yes. She confirmed that. Okay, we ready to go? Should we, I know, taking some bites. Now our guests obviously don't have to come up here and do this, and the Toastmasters can, the members can work on it. Because we gotta, the show must go on.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, Miss Sarah Dawson is our table topics master. So come on up, Sarah. Hey again.
Thanks for the warning about lowering it for short people. This is only like my third time being here
Yeah,
in
true.
person again, and so
That's
it's really weird getting adjusting back into this. Well, table topics is my absolute favorite. It is so much fun to be able to, well, it's not as much fun. I was like Chanel. I think I was under 30 seconds in my first time because I'm like, hi. Okay, I did it, bye. And I sat down. But now it's a lot more fun just to be able to ask questions and be able to bring people up and do creative things. So we have a bag of questions. what you'll do is you'll come up here, you will grab one of the questions. There are two different types. There's one that's just a regular question, and then there's one that has a set of 4 words on it. If it's a set of 4 words, then you have to come up with a story with those 4 words in it. It'll be fun. It'll be quite a challenge.
4.
Yes, so forward. So you have your 2 choices. So you'll pick it out, you get a chance, take a breath, read it. You can read it out loud to us, and then start in with either your story or answering the question. If you don't like it, or you just can't answer it for some reason, because sometimes there's reasons we just don't. You put it back. Well, we'll be nice today. You put it back and you can draw a new one. So, but I think you explained it pretty well already. That Table Topics is a chance to, and I think you even explained it quite a bit too, of just, it's a chance to practice speaking on the fly when you're presented with something that's not right away. Anybody's welcome. You don't have to be a member to do this one. Who would like to go first? Oh, yay, Denny.
I'd like to take this opportunity to embarrass myself.
Yay, Denny.
What am I doing here?
Grab one out. Just
Oh, just like
Have at
that.
it.
I can't even remember what the, okay. If you have a favorite or meaningful family recipe, what is it and why do you like it? If not, do you wish you had one? Explain your answer. I have a very meaningful family recipe, as a matter of fact. I just came up with it this last week. And when I served this meal to my mother and my husband, they both looked at me with renewed love. I've not experienced this many times in my life. However, I promptly wrote the recipe down right away and put it in the cupboard, knowing that I was going to make this dish again, which was chicken marinated on the grill, boom, boom, into the oven, in a Dutch oven with carrots and all the good vegetables, but not potatoes, sweet potato. And it was so good. And the secret sauce was something Armenian, I think. I'm looking your way. And your way. Something called
quarter of my way.
Agvar. Something called, oh, a quarter, okay. Something called Agvar, does that sound right?
Don't ask me, ask him.
Anyway, it's eggplant and something else. It was so good. Everyone loved the meal so much that I'm going to be required to make it again. So this is my new family recipe.
Thank you, Betty, for sharing your new family recipe.
Mhm.
Who else would like an opportunity to try a new question or story? All right, okay, go.
What should we go to, by the way? Any board members? We're at 42, about 50,
Yes.
Yeah.
about 50.
Define horror couple integrity.
Those 4 words. That's an example of the 4 words.
Can you read the words again?
Define horror couple integrity. In order to have integrity, you have to have some background. Usually that comes from your family first. Then to your horror, you discover that you need to learn more in order to become a professional. Since today we're talking about speeches, my definition, or how I define speech, is free speech. I came here to learn how to spontaneously improvise in speech, because I'm good at prepared speech. As an attorney, you just sit down, you have your plan, you talk, you have points, and you argue those points. That's prepared speech. But you need to couple it with some imagination and improvisation. Like there is a classical musician and there is a jazz musician. What is the difference? The jazz musician is improvising. He can take Bach or Beethoven and make it something else in his improvisation. So therefore, in the speech itself, I think I'm looking for that moment, the jazz moment, when from the planned speech, I go into improvisation. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
Most impressive.
That was- yeah.
Very impressive. So even our participants online, since you can't draw out of the bag, I'll draw one with you. So if Elaine, Alex, or Michael, you guys would like to join, please do. Any of our guests? Anybody?
Michael's always game.
Was that a yes?
Anybody? Anybody?
I mean, I can try.
All right,
Yay!
Mary.
Sorry,
Hi, Mary.
I usually embarrass myself.
No, get back in the action. That's good.
Being so out of practice. Okay, I picked something from the box.
Mary, and look at the screen there, adjust it so that we can see you on.
Adjust it.
There you go.
Yes,
Perfect.
it's been an interesting day. I came here to study and now I found the
Yeah,
Toastmaster.
don't
Now I'm
do it.
giving up.
Oh, this is.
You never know what your day is gonna bring. So if you could do anything, realistic or not, what would you, so if you could do anything, realistic or not, what would you do and why? Okay, so just basically talk about, right. Well, if I wanted to do anything realistic or not realistic, sometimes I want to say when we evaluate anything that we want to do, compare or define as realistic or not realistic, sometimes we need to push the limit. Sometimes we make limitation and assume things are unrealistic when they actually could become realistic. Sometimes we just limit our dreams and passion on possibilities that sometimes we assume certain things are impossible and we just need to look beyond. So if I wanted to do anything realistic or unrealistic, I would find something, a passion of mine, a dream or a goal that I'm thinking it's probably unrealistic, but hey, you've got one life, why not go after and see if you can make it a reality. So that's how we approach it.
Good job. All right. I think we have time for one more. Who would like to be our final contestant? Come on down. Anybody? Anybody? You want to try it? All right. Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure. You seemed kind of like you might want to, but I wasn't sure. Go for it.
Or what you could do, I think, another good option for a guest in the vineyard is you can take a question that was already asked that maybe Mary or Corinne was kind of rough. That was a tough one that you did pretty good with.
Okay,
Was it Denny? Yeah,
I think I like Mary's.
okay.
I had, when she had, I was like, dang, if I would have there, I wish I would have grabbed that one.
It talks so much about.
Yeah. Let me just grab it again. So to restate it, if you have a favorite or meaningful, oh no, it wasn't that one. It was this one right here. If you could do anything realistic or not, what would you do and why? I think these last couple of years has been tough for me and my family. So anything realistic would be just having my whole family in general, just one day, just with each other. Whether it's vacation or at someone's house, you know, family game night. I realized that our family kind of separated. So I try to have family game night once a week, but everyone's schedule is everywhere. We're all adults now, life goes on. So I really just want a big family vacation with everyone, my family there, from my mom's side and my dad's side, and my mom's cousins and my cousins and my dad's cousins, just everyone. Even though I know my mom's side and my dad's side don't really know each other well, but that's would be something that I want to at least attempt or do just one more time before my great grandparents aren't here anymore. So.
I kind of want your dream. That sounds fun. Except for I live with my mom, my dad, my brother, and sister-in-law, so I'm not sure. I might want to get away from that. Right. All right, the games do sound fun. So that's the final, and I'm going to hand it over to the general evaluator, which happens to be myself. So I'm going to call up my team to do the evaluations. Oh, Denny, you get to come up first, and she's gonna evaluate the speech, and then we'll do the grammarian and the counter and the timer after that.
Yeah. Last week, Chanel paid me all these compliments, and I think she was just trying to butter me up for this. I'm not allowed to criticize her today. Arr. You did a great job on your speech. I've known you since you came in here. And when Chanel first came in, she was a little bit nervous in a setting where you just had to speak off the cuff. Great at preparing things, just like you said. That's not the case anymore. Now you're super relaxed, you walk around, you have good hand movements, your voice has great tonality, you go up and down. You even made everybody laugh several times, which is very impressive. I did like the casket or eulogy thing that you said. That was good. When you first came up, I was watching up there to see if where your nose cut off. And you did just a little bit into the speech, you adjusted this so everybody could see you. Because I noticed you step back a little bit, all of that. Get your hand movements in there. I really like that your volume is great. You looked around the entire room. I think everybody felt like you were speaking to them. I didn't feel like you were ignoring me at all. And at the same time, you also looked into the computer, so I know the people at home felt like you were talking to them as well. You were asking us a question. You started out with a question. What is our why? That gave me the idea of thinking of that through the entire time you were speaking. And you were speaking on that topic, which was, it just served to emphasize the point. And you ended with that same topic. I also like that to the point of being on the fly. A young man came in with food right behind you. And of course it shows up on the screen. And you said, that looks wonderful. And everybody laughed. So you took a situation that could have been awkward. And of course, we're a comfortable group in here, so it's not too awkward. But in a more formal setting, something like that could be awkward. And you just addressed it, made everybody laugh. And that worked. You also ended with, what is your why? So I like that very much. You shared some of your own story, some of your own vulnerability, which makes new people and old people more comfortable. That was great. Good. I think you did a great job on your speech. You started and ended on time, which is another thing that's important to us. So thank you very much. It was a great speech.
Thank you so much, Denny. And next up, Joey, going back in the action?
Where are you going? My turn?
Yeah, you want to do the timer?
Timer?
Grammarian?
I will.
All right.
Thank you. Sarah? This off. So I was evaluating on the evaluation team, the timing report, and our use of SaveMart. Now I know it was doing a lot of different things. Did I miss anybody? I don't think anybody used it. I used it, but I'm off limits. And you're doing the word of the day. Either if you use it or you don't use it, you're off limits. You're kind of neutral. All right, that's fine. Savant, it's a different word. Chanel, I don't know. Did you know that one before? Kinda. You've heard it before?
I have heard it. I don't think I could have defined it accurately though.
So that's a different word. So no worries on that. And then we do, although worth mentioning, that on the back we have, if you look at the ahs, ers, ums, verbal crutches, neglect to use word of the day. There is we used to call them fines, but PC version of it, they're investments in the local club. They're not fines, but 50 cents for those members that are beyond 6 months as a member. So if you're up to 6 months as a member, you're off limits. But for those that are 6 months seasoned and above, 50 cents, not using the word. But today is a pass because it's an open house. I think it was that Sarah said that, or Denny, or one of our members said that's kind of a pass today. So on the timer report, Miss Chanel, so her speech was supposed to be 3 to 5 minutes is what we were talking about. She was right in there. If we were having a competition, as Michael was talking about, she came in at 5 minutes and 8 seconds. So she would have had 30 seconds over that she could have gone and not get disqualified. So she landed right in that, even though it was between the 3 to 5, she had 8 seconds over. She was good. Denny, in her evaluation, same thing. So 3 minutes, 19 seconds. It was a great evaluation, 19 seconds over, but same thing with the contest. She was right in, wouldn't have been disqualified for that. Our table topics, Denny came in right in at 125. Corinne came in at 120. Perfect. Mary came in at right at 1 minute. Boom. Richard, not bad, first time, and great. Thank you for sharing that information. 48 seconds, so not too bad, not too bad. So that's my timer report.
All right, and then our final one, all right, coming up.
Let's adjust it. Okay, I want to congratulate Chanel. It was a brilliant speech. And basically you have become a savant of speech. Now I use it. And I would just mention the same little problem you have. You used the word so 2 times in your speech, but the speech was anything but so. So Sarah, 3 ands, that's her favorite. And. Yes.
Yeah.
And now you switch to and. Now, what was your name? Mary. It's nothing to say about the word usage, but you sometimes overuse sometime. So you need to but I didn't notice anything. Okay. Like no uhs, no crutch words, nothing. Very good. Richard, 1 time and 2 times just out of context. So that's your help word. Yeah. So some people use like or and or so, then you use just. So you need to be aware of it. Then I didn't notice anything, really. It was completely good, clean speech. Thank you. And Joey, I forgot. You used and 2 times and used the out of context.
I thought I was getting away with it.
All right, so as we move on, one of the things we generally evaluate, we'll mark you down for so. It's just, are we keeping on time? What's going on? So it seemed like the mood, it was so fun for even our guests to be able to participate. We really appreciate that. I love that, having new people come in. We're probably not going to end on time because we still got some bidding to do. So get your last minute bid in, and then I'm going to hand it over to Joey.
Thank you, Sarah. The general evaluator today. Great. Well, at the end of the meeting, again, as Sarah said, if you want to do some last minute bidding, you can go ahead. If you want to grab some more food, you can. We can also have time after if you want to grab some food too. So it's not like we're just going to throw all that away or anything that's going home. Haven't had a chance to get any yet, so I'm going to get some for sure. What we like to do is we'll like to do awards at the end. We just usually clap or whatnot. We used to do, you can see these stickers for those football fans, Buckeyes, Ohio State Buckeyes. We used to do that. We might have to get back to that a little bit more as we start growing our in-person group. But I just want to give a hand, I think, to everybody, our members for sure, for putting this on, and members donating the stuff that they donated, whether it was food or services or anything like that. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for putting everything together. We had a exec board meeting on Thursday. And I was thinking, yeah, let's do it Monday. Let's do it the day before. Chanel's like, nah, let's do it a little sooner than that. So we did it sooner, got it all out of and got some little breathing room that we could, if we needed to get some things done that we needed to do. And so thanks board for helping out on that and putting that all together. Again, thank the mug for letting us do it. and our guest for participating. Mary, she's not really a guest, but we'll give it to her. We'll give it to her today. So thanks, Richard, for dealing in. So those are our rewards. And then are there any roles for next week that we want to go? So Chanel, you want to do a speech again, or did you want to push that back? I know you're looking at doing a pathways, but did you want to push that back to, we got Valentine's, the 14th and the 21st? 14th. Okay, so let's shift you over there. And then let's get those big roles. Toastmaster, general evaluator, table topics. Who wants to jump in on those?
I can do Toastmaster.
Denny. So we'll take Chanel. So we got Denny. Okay, table topic, Chanel. Corinne. Sarah. General evaluator. Sarah. Corinne.
I will do grammarian and the account.
Marion, and I'll counter, and then I'll take the open ones. We'll get Joey timer, Zoom. I think that's it. All right, so enough with that. And then the last part are just questions, comments, criticisms from first we can open up to we call the peanut gallery, the Toastmaster members, and then if guests, we always like to hear from guests that come in.
You know what, I just think you guys have done a great job. It's really hard. I mean, I've been petrified, absolutely petrified. I almost quit my job because I had to speak on a topic that I didn't even know what it was about. So
shame on them for doing
yeah,
that.
shame on them.
No, not on you, on them.
I didn't quit my
Shame
job,
on them.
and I worked through it. I got through it, but I told myself I will never do that again. So you won't see me back here.
But you're a beautiful boy.
You guys did a great job. I'm so proud of all of you because I know how hard it is.
Mhm.
It really is. You've done a
Thanks,
fabulous job.
Thanks, Mom. Thank you.
Fabulous.
Thank you. And the next, yeah, I've been trying to get him in forever. He doesn't really, I don't think he really needs any. He could have been a radio show guy. He's that type of.
I don't know if you remember back when Gary D was a broadcaster in town. And I didn't mentor him, but I ran into him numerous places. And he had a school of broadcasting, which was in the old farmers market, which was downtown. And I know I was working for the Fresno Bee at the time, and people had seen me at the Gary D School of Broadcasting, wanting to know what my priorities were. I always kind of wanted to get into radio, but didn't do it. And now I'm looking back on it thinking, I'm glad I didn't get into it. A lot of times, in order to make it big on radio or television or whatever, you got to move out of a small town. Fresno's kind of a small town.
Mhm.
And it still is, as for making any money. But Gary D went on to show me that he could do it. I broadcasted a little bit at Farmers Market. He attacked U.S. Steel when he went back to Indiana and brought the radio ratings up on that station, did a good job, and finally died of a heart attack. So that's why I say I'm glad I didn't get into it, because he smoked 2-3 packs of cigarettes a day. You're always on a timer, in radio, television also. So anyway, here we are again.
Yeah, he's full of stories. Yeah, that's my father, by the way. Michael, my mom and my dad were the ones that were speaking there. But yeah, my dad's full of stories. We have in our gatherings, we have lots of laughs and things at some of the characters. I just say he's living in a cartoon. Like his whole past is like he lived in a cartoon. It's like reading a comic book a lot of times.
Well, a lot of times too, just as a question, I would, if I would volunteer to pull that thing out, I would have got, if we all know commercials. But if danger and mayhem were to get into a fight, who would win? And you're thinking, who are these people? Well, one of them's from AAA and the other one's from Allstate, I think. So, that's something to think about. That was running around in my mind. Here, so that kind of gives you an idea what's in here.
Yeah.
I should have been part of the Simpsons.
Yeah. Thank you. Mary?
Well, it's interesting that I ended up just meeting with you guys and coming here, which I'm glad I did. It brought back so many good memories when I joined Toastmaster back in 2012. was like many going for a job promotion and getting more comfortable in front of people and giving speeches. I had so many ahs and so's. Like when I started, I think it was like 20 at some time. So still needs a lot of improvement, but I may join you guys now that I have a little more flexible time and can, I'm in school anyway.
And it's close by, you said? It's close by?
No, well, my school, I'm going to UCLA for my master's.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
an executive program, so I go once a month, but then, which is this weekend, I have to go for 3 days and I have a lot of prep work. That's why I came here to like focus and study and get work done, but then
This
I'm
happened.
here. But it's, things happen for a reason and it's a good reason. So
Yeah.
I get to be here and thank you so much. It's really great.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Mary.
What's the name of your dog?
Lola. Yeah. Richard?
Well, I talked to you before, the nonprofit that I work for.
That's right.
Yeah, so when I was coming in, when I was coming out, you guys were
Coming in. That's right.
And it caught my attention, because I'm a communications major, and it happened just naturally. I always want to learn how to speak in front of a crowd and everything. And I'm really good with one-on-one communication, but in crowds, sometimes I do get nervous. But the nerves, the same nerves you get excited and nervous is the same, just how you feel about it. And I learned that in class. It was a minor major at first, but I ended up liking it, and it became my actual major. So I took a multiple communications class. COVID was hard because it's different. For me, it's easier to talk on the computer because they can't really see what's going on. But in front of a crowd is what I want to, be good at. I had one public speak at the Fresno Center. I was a guest speaker there. I was nervous, but it was good just to like talk in front of a crowd and just inspire people by your words. There's this one influencer. He said, God gave me my voice before he gave me my hands. So I try to implement that into wherever I talk, try to, shine some light on people. So coming here, definitely be able to be evaluated what I say and what I do kind of helps me kind of perfect that.
Yep. You're right. Yep. Yeah, everybody has a story, and if that fear is keeping, that story can help a lot of people, can inspire a lot of people. And if you're too scared to give that story, those people never hear it. And maybe it's a story about saving people from suicide or anything like that. That story could literally save people. So that's part of it. Yep. Jenny's giving me, she almost threw the shoe at me. I saw her getting up and I saw her like reaching for a shoe. So I better wrap this thing up. So any other questions, Elaine, Alex? You can also email me too. Let me put that in the chat real quick. I know Alex has my email. I'm not sure if Elaine does, but it's joey.myers@gmail.com. So that's, if you need to ask any questions, go ahead and reach me there if you need to. But I think with that, Michael, did you have anything else to add? Yeah, he's on. I could.
No,
read his lip.
we're good. I was, for those of you who don't know me, Joey is aware. I was one of the sponsors of this club back 15, 16 years ago.
Yep.
And it's really fun for me to come back and see it growing.
Name is on here. Where is it? It's on here somewhere.
There it is, right? Yeah, right next to the date.
It's our gavel.
Okay. Yeah, you have evidence to the fact, but it's really fun to come back and see the club growing again. And clubs go up and they go down in membership. It happens, but it's really fun to see it growing and to see the excitement and the fervor that is pervading this room. I'm really enjoying being your area director, and I can't say that for all the clubs I'm responsible for. So thank you for having me, and I'm really glad to have been here.
I didn't pay you, Michael. I didn't pay you for that.
No, but I'm waiting for the check.
Check's in the mail. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate the compliments. And I think with that, thanks, Elaine, Alex, for coming. Alex, you both, know where to find me. If you have any questions, let me know. And other than that, we'll adjourn. Thank you.